Welcome in to another episode of Untold Stories, your weekly D&D game set in the world of Elvoria. We have our wonderful array of players, as we do every week, snacked at the ready, and a brand new chapter to tell. Before we do get underway, I want to tell the few people who do watch about Arcane Compendium of Characters by Aderyn Angiolini. New RPG tool for DMs and players with over 100 NPCs, gorgeous art, personalities, flaws, secrets, and plenty more to inspire your D&D games. The project is live on BackerKit until I think the 11th of August and is currently funded, so you're guaranteed to get it. It's now just looking to hit those stretch goals, including better quality cards and VTT tokens, which I hope we get because I want to use them on our Albo rodeos. To be clear, I'm not sponsored for this. I just really like the project, and I use the NPC art to inspire a bunch of NPCs that have appeared in this campaign already. So you can find a link in the description below to go back it. And if you really want to, you can also get commission as part of it, and Aderyn's art is awesome. Speaking of which, in below you can also find all the Reimagined classes that Chris, Sarah, Emma, and Andrew are using in this campaign. On the DMsGuild that I've rewritten. They're completely free. I just like seeing other people use them. But with all of that out the way, let's continue our story. After an interrupted night's sleep, you left Calcath as a collection of travellers, definitely not yet an adventuring party, and begun your journey eastward. Towards the Dragoncrest Coast Grand Province and the town of Narray, where a few of you had some personal business to attend to. The next significant town on your route would be the crossroad town of San Roy Car, about 4 or 5 days away depending on travel. Night 1, you hampered down in a pretty cute little bivouac made by Balrick out of the random assortment of stuff you did have after no one had decided to buy tents or anything of remote travelling equipment. And you huddled together against the incessant rain that had followed you all day. Some of you had a restful night's sleep, some of you less so. And by morning the rain had stopped. Just in time for Lesley to enthusiastically attempt to drive the cart, and the ox known as Dave doing a little too well and finding himself working his way along the Covenmere Trail with the rest of you chasing after him trying to load up your packs. Which is where we will pick up as you're all chasing after Lesley.
Before we properly start, I've got this solid visual in my head of like a lo-fi art, like GIF where it moves through different cinematics, and it's like different people driving it, like Balrick's driving with the hood up, and then it switches to someone else, and then it switches to one where it's like Lesley driving it and everyone just running behind. But I've just got this massive visual of like, like a little animated GIF sort of pixel art thing, and it won't leave my mind.
If any of our 3 viewers are artists, please draw that.
I'm also a really chill like lo-fi girl style art of like everyone huddled around the campfire in the rain, but
if any of our 3 listeners are also like lo-fi music artists.
Still in the visual part bit. Anyway, Lesley is riding off.
Yes.
I already aced that animal handling, right?
Yeah, you rolled like a 19 on the die or something like that.
Shite.
I'm going to pick up Togrim and chase after it.
Yeah.
I'll pick up Togrim and chase after it because Togrim's got little legs.
Appreciate it. How fast is this cart moving?
It's not fast.
Not as fast as me.
Much faster than walking speed.
Okay.
Wait, so none of us are on the cart, just Lesley?
No, Lesley went on to try and like jokingly ride it, and he's actually doing so.
Annoyingly well for Balrick.
Balrick's like, I was the only useful one. Lesley can't be useful.
He's not crashed it yet, so...
It's a straight line.
Ximori.
Yeah, everybody remember your accents.
Yep, remember your voices.
Scotland. Right. Yeah, I chase after. Shite! Stop!
I chase after it with, like, holding Togrim like a rugby ball.
I'm gonna walk very slowly, dragging my feet.
Did we pack up everything though? We did pack up everything.
I think you had most stuff packed up at this point. Leslie's
probably
not someone to
wouldn't
immediately
have let-
spring out of bed and jump on a cart.
Yeah, I
let's be
think
honest.
we had just finished loading it up, I think, yeah.
We've
Neither of us
breakfasted.
are morning people. We don't spring up before midday.
Probably currently like 9 AM, so
They have been dragged up.
Leslie's probably like dropping off.
Can Lesley try and like swing the cart around just to like get Aderyn like?
Don't turn the cart around, run a narrow road with mud on either side.
Oh, I don't know. Was that described?
I mean, a cat. The turning circle
Did
of
you have
an
in mind?
open cat.
Yeah, there must
a
be
pretty
massive
big
turning
circle.
circles.
Yeah, bear in mind, you can't do 3-point turns in a cart.
I mean,
You
not
don't
without a
need to,
significant
though.
animal
You-
handling
you-
roll.
Animal handling,
If the horse is good enough, you can just trot round.
Yeah, but this is an ox.
It's not a horse.
But like the turning circle must be huge on an oxen
If
cart.
the ox is good enough,
It's an ox called Dave.
might be
great-
good enough.
Emma.
Does Lesley get advantage for being
No.
a little scamp? It's a 3.
Lesley starts trying to turn the cart and ends
No,
up
no. Then grab the cart.
fully Austin Powers across the road.
Can I rag Leslie? It's stopped now.
Yeah.
Can I rag Leslie off the seat?
I mean, it stopped.
You're not driving again.
I can't do my voice, Lesley. Lesley. You're jealous. You're just jealous. You're just jealous. There we are.
Well, look at the mess you've caused now. How are we going to... Oh, poor Dave.
Just gonna put Togrim in the back.
Thank you.
I think if we untie Dave, we can
All
just
right.
put him there, and then
I'll-
you go with the cart.
I'll take Dave to the side. Ximori, can you sort out like turning the
Yeah,
car?
I'll shift it. I've got
I'm
this.
gonna unhook Dave and just kind of drag Dave forward.
Leslie's gonna be a little bit prickly that he wasn't asked to help shift the cart. Clearly one of the stronger.
It's easy enough to do. It takes a bit of time, which does annoy you, but
I have
you're used to
advantage on
handling
strength checks
animals.
now.
And yeah, you can handle Dave, and Ximori just like full on
Bench press.
drags it back around,
Deadlift the cart.
power cleans it. And once again, your cart is facing the right direction with Dave hooked up.
And I think Balrick is in the driver's seat this time.
If anyone else wants to go, but Lesley, that was not a good showing. I'm saying no today.
Yeah,
No
I'll give it a
to
try.
you.
Alright.
Go on, Ximori. I'll give you some pointers. And I'll explain the ropes and stuff. And it's straightforward.
You
I
don't need to
climb
roll.
onto the bench.
He's a decent hand at teaching, and you don't need to roll for this. But since you are driving, what you can do is roll a d10.
Yeah, and then I'll jump in the back, I suppose.
7.
Have it sag underneath.
7. While as you set off and you kind of all set yourselves up in the back in whatever kind of order you want, you do set off, and while the heavy thunderstorm that kind of plagued you all day yesterday has receded, the cloud cover has not, and doesn't look like it's fully let up in the amount of rain and damp it wants to pour on top of you, as a kind of fine, constant drizzle sets in through the day, kind of faintly obscuring the distant road in a faint mist that
that
kind of
awful.
seeps through.
That awful rain that you don't notice till you're soaked.
But while Ximori is navigating you along, the rest of you are kind of squashed in at the back.
I think I'll make some room by walking alongside the cart for a bit. Long strides.
Leslie's gonna look kind of longingly at your waterproof cloak as he sat there shivering in the silks.
enjoying your clothing? It's very appropriate, I think, to this weather, aye? They look very fine, very beautiful. Oh, my haggard old thing. You won't want this, would you?
You think I'm beautiful?
Yeah, silks. Oh,
It's the weather is not. It's not right for my clothes. It's not the other way around.
mm-hmm. Thanks. It's the weather that should change for you.
Yep. That
Yes.
makes sense.
I just like sort of reach vaguely into my bag and like toss a blanket over towards Lesley.
Thank you.
I'll keep the rain off you at least.
I
Lesley
keep
kind of
looking at my inventory and my spell list for like stuff to do, or like blankets, or like a spell to get the water off. We've got nothing. I feel so weak in this campaign. We've got nothing.
Nothing.
I've got a bedroll.
I mean,
They should
go.
invent a waterproof cream that you can put all over your body, and then when it rains, it will just bounce off. And then, because if you put more than one layer of cream, it will have extra bounce. And then if you sit next to someone you don't like, it bounces off of you and into their eyes. And I think that would be really cool. So Togrim, I think you should invent that, and then I can take a percentage because I'm the mastermind behind it. Yeah.
This isn't Aderyn talking. This is Sarah. I'll live a life for the game. Invent a cream which makes you rainproof.
I mean, I've got like a sort of insect repellenty kind of stuff. It's pretty greasy. That might keep the water off you if you want.
It repels the int.
I mean, it stops them biting you. It's
Yeah, okay.
Is that an item?
yeah, it's something you can buy in D&D.
Insect repellent.
An insect repellent, which is a greasy salve. I have 20 doses of this stuff.
Why do you have that?
Like, I am constantly covered in blood. There are a lot of flies that I have to deal with.
What book is that from?
That's from base.
So instead of just washing off the blood, you just lather up in this grease.
I mean, you know, I
Smears
wash.
it all on.
Like, it's difficult to wash out of my clothes.
I mean, it does explicitly state the salve is waterproof.
No, it says it's a greasy salve.
Oh, okay, it doesn't.
No, the last sentence is the salve is waterproof, so it doesn't wash off in the rain.
Oh, sweet.
What?
It's from Tomb of Annihilation.
It's in the monster manual.
Wow.
That's insane.
Incredible.
Yeah, I toss a sort of battered old tin over towards you out of my bag.
Amazing.
Thank you.
It does not
Gonna
smell
put it
good.
on, like, put it on your face.
Where did you find that? It's just
Like, I didn't start with starting equipment, I started with gold instead, so I was just
Yeah.
looking through, like, what can
Just
I
full
buy?
on
What makes
knick-knack
sense for Ximori? Like, what makes sense for Ximori? Probably some sort of insect repellent.
he's got, I mean, lots of exposed skin. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
It's instantly come in handy, so that was an
Yeah.
extra buy.
Yeah.
Incredible. Incredible. Anything else anyone wants to dig out of their bags?
19 doses.
Oh, I can't believe that. There's one point as you're going along, where due to the kind of the drizzle and kind of like you're peering through your eyebrows, Ximori, through the drizzle, there's like mud puddles throughout the road, and you just completely miss one at one point, and the back wheel of the cart just and a cascade of mud splashes over on.
Right, now which side are people sitting?
Yeah,
Say it now.
who's sitting on what side?
Pretty sure I'm on. If the cart's going that way, I'm on this side.
You're on the right hand side.
I was walking alongside.
Yeah, you're fine. It's the three pretty ones and the tiny one.
I'm probably lounging in the middle.
Alright, I'll be on the left side.
I do think Lesley is in like his sleeping bag, like up to his neck, just like asleep in the train. So he's wherever that was.
As Togrim and Lesley get a splash of mud all over them. A little bit gets on Tauri, who's hunkering down on the middle as well. And like the cart feels a little wobbly after smacking into that pothole.
Sorry. I missed that one.
I could fix that.
You can fix that? I
can
can fix that.
I mean, no, not the wheel. I know nothing about wheels, except that they spin. I can fix the mud on your face.
Oh, that would be helpful.
Mustache. Please.
I'm just gonna be like,
So subtle.
Thank you. That's a great trick. I love that.
As the two of you covered in mud, Aderyn, confident on the open road with no one around, does a rather overt display of magic to clean up mud off the two of you. That doesn't pass by any of you, shall we say. She's not subtle about it in this instance.
all of you know now. It's fine.
How does Ximori react?
The other way, but there is just a slight tightening of my grip on the reins.
Oh yeah, you're driving, so it's like yeah.
So you didn't see it. They didn't see me. It's fine.
I still hear you.
What time is it? Like how long have we been on the road?
Oh, you're post-lunch at this point.
Oh,
Wine and cheese time.
wine and cheese time. Exactly.
Wait, where's my wine? You got the wine in
Chine
your
and
hand.
wheeze.
No.
Leslie's already
Aderyn,
started the wine.
Chine and wheeze time.
Yeah, eventually you, the sun kind of sets, or is heading towards setting. You're thinking about pulling up somewhere to stop. Up ahead, you spot a simple-looking building that's kind of on the roadside, just basic kind of mud brick, wooden slat roof. That's kind of by the side of the road that you think might be worth using as a stopping point.
Yeah, I'll try and pull the cart over towards it.
Does it look occupied?
Roll perception from your distance away.
3 plus 5, 8.
Hard to tell. You're not seeing anybody going in or out of it by any means, but what that actually means in terms of occupancy, don't know.
Well, what do we think? Well, over here? Have a
Nice.
roof over our heads at least.
I would
Yeah.
quite like a roof actually.
Yeah, I'll pull the cart over towards it.
You pull up as though there's no one really around. It's kind of built on like a relatively like flat, open piece of ground, like by the side of the road. Up ahead is like into the setting. Nope. Into the east. You can kind of make out that the road gets a little bit kind of less flat up ahead, like so some hills and stuff start coming involved and roadside rocks, but this is kind of like the last like flat plain for a short while. But you pull up, you can all start kind of unloading and taking a look around.
Is there like a shelter outside for Dave?
Yeah. There's a kind of it's an open-sided kind of like just slant roof.
Yeah. I'll just help guide Dave into that. Yeah, I'm just helping the front guiding Dave in the wagon so that he doesn't
Is it like
crash.
a rundown abandoned building? Or
It's not super run down. It's showing like some wear and tear and age, but it's not like it's decrepit or falling apart by any means.
Alright, you guys go and sort out, like, see if there's anyone there, see if we can get in. Me and Ximori will sort the wagon out, get it all tied up and safe.
Yeah, we'll go explore.
People love us.
Says Lesley, like dressed up like a caterpillar in their sleeping bag.
People love us.
Yeah, you can head over. The door is locked. However, rather brazenly, there's just a hook on the side with a key, just an iron key, just sitting there.
That's inviting. I guess I'll pick up the key. Please don't be a mimic.
Would I do that?
Don't be a mimic.
Roll initiative. Roll initiative as the door turns into a mouth.
You pick up the key, yeah?
He's not the mimic.
I'm gonna open the door.
Do you want to roll?
Wait a second. Maybe we should knock.
Make a dex save.
A small white grub falls from.
God.
I do like that Aderyn's instant instinct isn't to knock on the door or anything. It's to like, oh, I can go in.
If they wanted me to knock, they wouldn't leave the key outside.
Unlock the door. The door unlocks, and you can open the door, and it swings inwards. Slight kind of creak on the iron hinges, which are a little rusted, and it opens up to a room inside. It's a hut, kind of compacted earth floor, and looking inside, you see like a couple of cots, like very simple like beds. A small kind of stone circle, which is like a designed fire pit with a hole in the roof for the smoke to head out of. And yeah, you've done a fair amount of travelling in your past. This is just a kind of roadside traveller's hut that most civilized societies, their main roadways will have these randomly spaced along for people to kind of rest up at and get out of bad weather, essentially.
Would there be any drawers or wardrobes with things inside?
No, it's very much designed like it's a shelter. There is a few kind of like dried meats and like in long during food. What you would know is that like it's very much take what you need, leave what you don't kind of system, and if you can leave something behind for the next person who needs a room kind of thing. Kind of an honor system on it. Yeah, it's fairly sparse. There's a few kind of like blocks of wood and stuff for lighting a fire, but yeah, not wardrobes or anything like that.
Okay. Well, it's cozy.
Is there a fireplace or something we can light up?
There's a campfire pit in the middle.
Can I go and start lighting it? I've got like a tinderbox and stuff in my bag.
Yeah, easy enough.
This is going to watch to learn because it feels like making fires might be an important skill in this cold and rainy landscape.
I'm gonna go outside and find a small stick, and then I'm gonna sit by the corner and I'm gonna start carving. I'm really bad at carving though. I'm trying to do like a little doll, but it's probably gonna look horrifying because I can't carve. But I'm gonna try.
It's going to look like one of those things a 5-year-old makes that you look at and you're like, that's definitely haunted. That's definitely haunted.
I love this. I want to say tiger.
It's just that we have to leave something when we go, you know, as a present for whoever comes next. So I want to make a little dog, and then I'm gonna leave it right in the center with like scratch marks around it, maybe like a splatter of red, and then
I got some
I
berries.
think that's funny. You think that's funny?
I've got some berries.
Lesley, you think that's funny, right?
Leslie's rolling off. Lesley can't talk anymore. Emma thinks that's funny as well.
He's still trapped in the sleeping bag, literally ruffling.
Leslie's just inchworming along the ground.
Me and Ximori will tie up thing. I'll tie up some food for Dave and in front of him and have him all ready. Unlatch him from the wagon, make sure everything that's in the wagon's covered and everything else is brought in. And then I'm gonna go. It's my turn to go out, and I'll get us some. I'll hunt us some food and stuff. Get us something to eat for the night. I see there's a ration set, but let's have some at
Eat
first.
that whole deer.
Yeah.
Yeah, how much of that deer do we have left?
Oh, yeah.
You still have half. Here's the thing. There's quite a lot of you, but and some of you got large appetites, but you've probably still got about a third to a half of that deer.
I don't know if we actually took it with us, to be fair.
Yeah, there's a deer between
After a day of
six.
travel in dank, humid weather.
It's definitely
should
more
go
of a
hunting.
eat on the road kind of snack.
It's been about 24 hours, so meat does not last like that out in the open.
Hey,
I'm assuming we cooked
12
it.
hours.
We have the cooked meat with us, and we're not taking raw, dragging a raw.
The night before, it's 6 p.m. till 6 p.m.
I swear it was. We
No,
woke up in the
Ximori
morning and meant
hunted
to
it during the
hunt
middle of the night.
Yeah, we got it in the morning.
Oh,
We
okay.
had it when
That was the morning. Okay, fair enough.
I caught that early.
Yeah, I'd roast up some deer.
I don't need to do any hunting then. That's fine. I tell you what, let's start. Maybe we can start smoking it or something, and then leave that there, and we'll have the rations that are already here. Or at the very least, we can leave some rations behind.
Are you proposing you hotbox this hut?
Yeah,
We're gonna fall asleep in this smoke-filled room.
I mean, one of you's got weed. Not a lot of it. I don't think you could pull off a proper hotbox, but you could try.
And smoke some food and preserve it.
That
Weed,
reminds me, I found
deer.
the rules of all of my drugs a few days ago.
I'm hearing you should take more drugs.
There are more drugs in this world.
No, the DM does not endorse.
I do not endorse taking drugs in a non-safe, illegal setting. However, in a
That's
fictional
fun.
world, engage your vices. Anyway,
You can try all your wildest fantasies.
Wait,
Doing
Weird
meth.
Living doesn't endorse drug taking, but doesn't endorse violence and murder.
Violence
No,
and murder
um,
heavily endorsed.
I might go on a small, just catch some rabbits or something then, and just for smoking jerky making sort of purposes and stuff. Doing that sort of pay it forward sort of thing to the people afterwards.
sure, for survival.
19 plus 5's 24.
You can narrate whatever the hell you want right now.
So
I bring
a
back a
unicorn
horse.
walks.
The unicorn walks past. I mean,
Holy unicorn meat.
It's a good way to get cursed.
yeah, don't kill a unicorn.
Come back with a handful of rabbits and conies and stuff, and just I can make us a soup, a stew if we want, and we can have a nice stew. We've got the venison and some rabbit with it. I'll say that I gathered some potatoes and stuff, boil them, maybe mash them.
Stick them in a stew.
Oh yeah, we are making a stew. It's fine. Yeah, we can do that.
Do that too.
With some conies,
Yeah.
some nice conies.
That's some nice fried fish.
No, it won't go.
No, you want the fish raw.
And
Yeah.
wriggling, actually.
Yeah, bit of a seaweed wrap around it.
Anyway, yeah, I'll make a nice. I'll get that as a nice travel stew for us, and we can just have some leave some rations for the people after us as a
Could
nice
I
gesture.
keep the paws, please?
Why? You want to keep the paws?
It's for an art project.
And what?
Are you gonna give the dog rabbit feet?
Yeah.
I mean-
Genius.
Fine, they're not exactly the most tasty part of the rabbit, so I suppose.
Thank you.
How many do you want?
Just all of them. Just four. Just four.
Okay, so the paws of one rabbit.
Yes.
Alright.
Do you want front and back paws, or do you want just a set of paws?
Just four front ones, because they're smaller. They'll fit better. And could I have some of the fur to make a little bed?
Aye, okay.
Thank you.
Aye,
Well,
I'm gonna go
resurrect
back
them.
to making food.
Yeah.
Add some berries, and I've got wild berries as well. I'm gonna have a nice like berry, potato, rabbits, venison stew.
He wants to now.
Lesley is going to wander around. Is there are there wooden beams on the what sort of material are we talking for the inside? Is there plaster? Is there any wood? Is it all stone?
So it's pretty much exposed mud brick for the walls, but there are beams along the top to support the pretty basic wooden roof.
Cool. So I'm assuming that other people have been through this area. Yeah, and it's rare for travelers in say groups with cool names not to write their cool names on the walls of places such as this. Are there any names of groups that have passed through?
Roll me an investigation check.
Investigate.
I do have a small suggestion for ours, just from
Oh.
something that Gethin said right at the beginning. The NAAP. They're not an adventuring party.
It's a
I hate how much I like that.
We are the nap.
12.
Means we can go to all our enemies, take a nap.
You kind of take a
Don't
look
know how I feel
around,
about that.
and it takes you a while to kind of spot anything. But eventually a couple of there's 2 or 3 that you find. One of which you're not entirely sure whether it is or whether it's just someone's name, which is just Jewel, as in a jewel. That's written there. But you do find 2 which one which is an acronym, which is just TCFC.
Terrible name. Terrible name.
And then you also find one that is. I'm so tempted to steal that, but I won't.
Don't.
No, you also find another one that it reads the man. Venturing name party names are hard.
Why we don't have one?
I wanted to know what you think. Think of on the fly so we could put ours. Anything better than that is fine.
Anything will be better than what I was just going up with.
That one is TCFC.
We'll never know.
Football club.
No, the other one that you find is Avare chickens.
That is bad.
Yeah.
It is a name.
Adventuring parties aren't much of a thing in the Jade Empire because, there's such a Dominion control over things. There are better names from where you're from because adventuring parties are a much more common thing.
I mean, these could be Titan Ball teams or something.
Yep. So Les is gonna carve into the wall, obviously, because this place is lucky to have had such a esteemed gentleman as himself, in its sleeping underneath its roof. Wow. And he's gonna write, the Titan Lesley was here. XOXO.
Obviously not was here, it's was here.
Yeah, was here.
Was here.
Les is down with the kids.
WOZ.
Yeah.
But Les is gonna ask if anybody else has anything. Anybody want anything carved in the wall?
Nah, I'm good, thanks.
How old are you again, Lesley? 18?
I'm just making my mark. In 100 years' time, people will be looking at that and saying, "Wow, this Lesley. I'm so glad he documented his time here."
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Alright.
I don't think I'm going to forget you in 100 years' time.
Togrim, Ximori, come back in 100 years' time, see.
Oh shit, that's right.
I'm not sure if this hut will exist in 100 years. It's only made of mud.
Leslie's gonna start carving some rude shit about Balrick.
I've got a request, Lesley. I think you should draw. You should carve all of us.
Well, I am sometimes considered quite the artiste in certain circles. And he carves
Small circles.
terrible stick figures with like arrows with our names. But for Balrick, it says bold. Oh no, yeah, Baldrick.
There is no hair on the top of
He's
that
got
stick
no
figure.
I assume these are small circles that call you an artist.
I never said which circles. They might be hard of sight.
And they never said
Who's-
an artist of what.
Who's got a high insight out of interest?
Tauri. And Aderyn's got decent insight as well.
Okay. Then you two will probably realize if you're paying attention that, like, upon Lesley, like, starting to, like, draw, Ximori has tensed up a bit, but when they see that it's just stick figures, they have relaxed.
Ooh.
Are you against drawing, Ximori?
Drawing's fine, I don't particularly like having my picture taken.
Oh.
They
Oh.
take your soul. That's how they take your soul.
No, my soul, that's
Oh.
staying put. I just don't really like it.
Why? Do you think you're ugly?
No, I'm beautiful.
Then what's the issue?
I just don't like it. You know, anyone can come along and see, and I don't want people just
Oh,
commenting on what I look
yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Well,
it's-
I'm so sorry. Like, this is a perfect likeness. I don't know. I'm really sorry.
What is the camera technology of this world?
Not that.
Has he ever sat for a portrait that's like
yeah,
really
he's really
lifelike?
against sitting and waiting for a portrait to be painted.
Ximori is not posh enough to have sat and waited for a portrait at any time. But, you know, sketch artists and things, I just don't really like it. I like seeing what other people, you know, drawings of other people, that's fine.
No,
I'm-
that makes
Yeah,
sense.
like drawings of me.
Imagine Rory passing like this caricature artist you see in like like highly touristic spots and being like, "Whoa!"
No, don't look at me.
Balrick, by the way, can you roll me a retroactive perception check, please?
Perception. Yeah.
Plus,
Just Balrick.
Oh,
16.
sorry, misheard you.
16. While you were out grabbing your brace of conies, you got the distinct feeling that something was watching you, but in the kind of low light and ongoing drizzle, you didn't really spot anything. But you've had this feeling, you were noticing stuff yesterday as well. So, something to bear in mind.
Is there anything else you don't like, Ximori?
I mean, there's plenty of things I don't like.
Okay, what's your top 3?
Well, I'm not particularly keen on dark places. Like cramped places. I don't like being shut in.
Oh, me too.
We already know I'm not a particular fan of magics, but your stuff seems fine.
Thank you.
Do
Yeah,
you want to roll on that? Up to you. Persuasion or deception, Andrew? Insight, Zara.
What? But they say
She's just believing it. She's happy.
She can fail on purpose if you want to fail on purpose.
Yeah, I don't see
Really?
anything bad.
You're not actively looking into what Ximori's saying.
it was a 13 in persuasion because, I mean, yeah.
What's your passive insight?
What's my passive insight?
14? Might beat it naturally.
14. Yeah.
14.
No,
Well-
He's being sweet.
I
no,
appreciate you lying.
Zamori's not happy about it, but it could be worse.
If it makes you feel better, Ximori, I didn't like. It's not like I went as a little girl stats that give wishes. I really want magic. Like I didn't ask for it, So like, it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
something that happens.
Yeah, it's just like, and I don't like stuff that can like mess with my head.
Oh yeah, no, stuff that messes with your head can be very annoying. I get it. I want to mess with your head though.
How is that? By the way, when you're carving, you should really not point the point of the knife directly at your own chest.
Why?
It seems a recipe for disaster.
Because why? I'm not going to stab myself on purpose.
Well,
So
no,
how-
but if your hand slips, then it'll look like this. Like take out.
Make
like,
sure you
another
go
stick.
away from the body.
Yeah, like I take another stick and
Out,
start like
out from the
carve it.
spot.
Okay.
Away from the body.
Okay.
I try and like carve a little like statue of a bear.
Wood carver's tools check, I guess.
So,
Make it dex.
Is
dexterity.
16.
Pretty decent carving of a bear. Takes you a while.
Yeah. You see, away from you, then if it like gets stuck in the wood or slips, it doesn't hit you.
Thank you. Okay, I will. Do you like it so far? Do you think it looks good?
Yes. It looks great.
Can I roll it?
Natural 20. 21.
Yeah. Okay.
No crit,
I
no
got
crits, no successes if you got above 21.
I got a 21.
Beats it.
Yeah.
It's a very good lie.
You don't think it's good, do you? What's wrong with it, huh?
I mean, it's a little uneven.
Oh, so you think that people that are uneven are wrong? Well, that's
Is-
very mean.
Is it a peep? I thought it was a horse. I'll
It's
be
a
honest.
it's a little girl. She's got a ponytail in her head.
Oh,
Anyone
that's the
can see
head.
that.
Oh, that's the top. Okay, yeah, I see it now. Yes.
Just gonna grumpily go to the corner and keep carving the right way around.
I think Leslie's gonna pass her a bottle of wine.
Full bottle.
He just has like a really deep pocket that always just has a bottle of wine.
He's got a wine cellar of holding.
It's just among the silks.
A wine cellar of holding.
Holding.
I told you. I've definitely told Gethin, for a brief period in my life, I used to choose my clothes based on how many wine bottles I could fit in the pockets.
No, I was there. Yeah, I've had that discussion with you.
Yeah, I had a coat that could fit like 6 in. It was amazing.
I had a coat that could fit a full litre and a half of Lambrini in a pocket without coming out the top. Like it was invisible.
That's amazing.
That's a big pocket.
Something to bring to the
There was
cinema.
a hole in the bottom of the pocket, so it went into the lining of the coat.
Yeah.
I didn't want you asking.
What everyone going to Reading and Leeds needs.
Oh. I
Anyone
missed the entertainment from the previous nights. Tauri, I don't suppose you'd oblige us with a little performance, a little solo show.
Throughout most of it, Tauri's just been plucking at the strings on her lute anyway, not really.
That's
doing-
the lo-fi shit that we were talking about.
Binaural beats.
Yeah, basically. She does look over at what Aderyn is doing and just says, if you go with the grain, it works a lot better as well. And you gain inspiration for you trying to make a creepy dog.
Tell you what. Make a wood carving dexterity check, Aderyn.
So,
I don't know if you're proficient in wood carver's tools. I doubt it. So it's just a dex check.
it was cocked. You roll again.
D6 still run.
So
Yeah, it's Lily 6.
what do I
You
add?
can add a d6 if you want, but I mean, it's 2 plus your dex, which is what, a +1?
I
You have that.
It's just a 1.
10 minutes.
No, she's used it now. She got a 1 on it.
Four.
Got a 4 total with bardic inspiration.
You try to go with the wood crane, and what you end up doing is hitting a knot and getting very frustrated until like you just like hack at the knot and you kind of like defigure the thing quite a lot. It doesn't really look like a dog. It looks like a horrifying thing.
It's meant to be a little girl.
Yeah, she said doll, not dog.
Doll, sorry. Doesn't look like a doll.
It
It
looks
doesn't
more
like
like
a dog.
It looks like a doll that's been attacked by a rabid dog.
Noted. Thank you.
Show them.
No.
Okay. Dinner's lady. I'll start dishing out some. I assume people have mess kits. Pretty
Some people
standard.
might.
I think they come with the like adventurer.
Yeah, a lot of them. A lot of packs already come with it, so I'm
It's
going
one
to
of
shoot
the things I
out.
bought.
I also realised they come with rations, and we also bought more rations. So I've currently got 17 rations.
But
I
you
have
also keep
none, so
hunting,
does
so
Sam.
But I don't need rations. Keep hunting.
How many rations did we
Nicholas
buy
had
for
that.
ourselves?
We bought 7 each.
7 each.
We.
Probably note that down.
Yeah, we.
You have all my money, so
Yeah, I did Balrick.
Right. I dish out soup to everyone. It's a nice, nutritious meal. And because I did so, can I have the chef feat for free? I'll build up to it. I'm gonna have the chef feat. I've got so many characters with the chef feat.
It's a fantastic feat.
is there anything else anyone wants to do during this downtime?
yeah, I'm just
Project?
preparing my little gift that I'm gonna leave behind with the rabbit feet and the rabbit fur and my doll.
Anyone else?
I will be
good.
working on Pebble, and I'm just going to start pulling bits out of my bag. And Gethin and I worked out that Pebble is actually quite large, so the cot starts to sag before he stops pulling more bits out.
For those of you with decent bads of
Can I
perception,
tell the fact that that bag looks...
yeah, I was about to say they're pulling way more stuff out of that bag than should reasonably fit in that bag.
I also like the bag was on the bed wasn't sagging, but then they're pulling it out and it starts sagging.
yeah.
The physics of that is
What is going on with that bag?
Oh,
Togrim, that's a weird. The leather work on that bag is incredible. Where did you get it done?
I made this bag myself about 2 years ago now. One of the Artificer infusions I've got is to make a bag of holding. So that's what he's been carrying Pebble around in this whole time.
Lesley does not know it's a bag of holding. Lesley's just really into the like.
The
It's a
leather.
big
You need
bag.
bags.
Yeah, Togrim's just really good at packing a bag.
I mean, technically, yes. But yeah, that's what Togrim will be doing, is just spending the time working on various parts and putting larger and larger pieces together over the night.
I'm just going to try and wash the blood out of my clothes this morning.
I'm gonna go out and wash the blood out of the displacer beast skin finally and kind of clean that up to make sure it doesn't go off and rot and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, just
We're gonna go sort out our various clothing bits.
yeah, my blood on my clothes are fine. As to the flavour.
Yeah,
Tauri
when
is
the
going
monster
to
tries
start,
to eat you.
Tauri is going to start reading the book that she picked up.
Which one? You picked up 2. You picked up the Cauldron of Ruer and Other Esther folktales, which I think at the time I said was Naven folktales, but I corrected myself.
Yeah, I meant, yeah.
And you also have the History of the Jewel Road.
So she's going to start with the history of the Jewel Road.
Okay.
Jewel was mentioned.
Roll me an investigation check.
Investigation 12.
12. for whatever the ongoing mechanical work in the background from Togrim doesn't distract you a fair amount, because like every so often your kind of eyes are drawn over to what they're doing, because it's pretty interesting, like new age smithery that's also kind of drawing your attention. So you don't get that far into the book, but you do learn a couple of bits from it. Specifically, you kind of get through the premise and the introduction, which goes on about how the Jewel Road was this infamously famous, it was the most well-known, widespread roadway, the merchant roadway that wound all the way from the mouth of the Neohanin River, which you know is where Geodothras is, even though you've never been there, you're well informed of general geography, all the way up to the northern end of the Rycleo Valley and the edge of the Frost Fjords, which is like continent-spanning road.
Yeah.
For a kind of real-world consideration, think the Silk Road, and that's kind of what you're dealing with. And it was like the main merchant artery that facilitated trade from the coast and its connection to other continents to throughout the old kingdoms of Fathaline before the Awakening, and up to mountain kingdoms that lived in the mountains that formed either side of the Rycleo Valley. It was it existed pre-Awakening, so it's a very historic concept. But that's really all that you get out of it at the minute. You are aware that there's more chapters to this book and everything, so you can come back and read further later and gain more information.
How does the cleaning process go?
I mean, you're not at proper cleaners, so there's only so much you can get out with rainwater and elbow grease. But you get some out. Some of it's deep set, and until you get like proper cleaning agents, you're not going to get blood out of that clothing. So you'll have to bear that in mind. Balrick, you see that Ximori's clothes are rather caked in blood that they're trying to clean, or you're trying to clean off this Displacer Beast pelt.
But they're being caked in blood all day.
Yeah.
What color are Ximori's clothes, out of curiosity?
The sort of undershirt, like they've got a sort of greyish, like black sort of leathery coat on, and a sort of like reddish undershirt, which you don't know if it was red to begin with. It might have been.
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest, is at some point you just need to roll with it and just get red clothes. And then you won't have to worry so much.
You make a decent amount of progress on Pebble this evening. Whatever it is, things just start kind of sliding in together. Mechanisms start working. Yeah. You're on the verge of it working, you would say.
Cool.
But if there's nothing else, a few of you start to drop off. Who would like to take first watch?
I'll take first watch so that I can finish my little gift and
You and Lesley are late nighters, are you?
yeah.
You and Lesley can take watch.
There's still plenty of cheese.
I only need 4 hours, so I can take, when you guys get tired, wake me up, or I'll wake up, one of the two.
I think
I'd love a full night's sleep, to be fair. You guys take over.
Yeah, we can keep watch. We're good at keeping watch.
we're amazing.
One of you can roll perception with advantage, or you can each roll.
I think Aderyn needs to roll perception with advantage because I think I have minus one.
So that's either a 3 plus something or that is 15.
15. You spend the evening kind of chit-chatting, finishing off your wine and cheese. And as, like, full night has set, you pick up something. Just, like, the sound of, like, very tiny feet. And, like, chittering, like, high-pitched voices from outside.
Lesley, do you hear that?
Does Lesley hear it? Now attention's been brought to it.
Now attention's been brought to it. You kind of, like, listen out. Like, could just be the wind.
I
Could
think
just
it's
be
the wind.
rain.
I'll take a quick look. Can you take care of my what should I name my doll?
A fine doll like this that will definitely never give anyone nightmares ever. This doll should be called Tabitha.
Tabitha. Okay, I'll put her in her cot. Wait, I'll send you the picture of Tabitha in her cot. And I'll go outside. Investigate.
Oh no!
Oh god!
Oh!
We just get that on
Don't
screen
kill
for
me,
everyone to see.
investigate.
We just get that on screen for everyone to
Editor's
see.
note, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Good lord.
It kind of looks like a Digimon.
Oh, I love you, Tabitha.
I'll go outside. Like, slowly.
Both of you can roll
Quietly.
me perception checks.
19.
You just taking a look. Did you take anything with you at all, like a torch or a staff or a
My stuff.
Lesley?
Oh, yeah, Leslie's gonna put Tabitha down really carefully. Actually, no, Leslie's gonna put Tabitha right next to Balrick. So if he wakes up, that's like if you're right in his face. And but he's got his sexy swords. He's got like hand on the hilt ready.
You staying inside or are you heading out with Aderyn?
He's gonna like try and really stealthily sort of to the door.
Okay.
But if Aderyn moves around the corner of the hut, he's gonna follow.
Okay. Both of you roll stealth as Aderyn, you kind of head out and like listen in for the sounds. Like you hear something around the corner. Again, those light feet kind of like sticking in the soft earth, like the mud. Like a couple of splashes around the corner. Yeah. Stealth checks.
9.
I'm assuming that was for me as well, right?
Yeah.
17.
17. Aderyn, you're not even aware Leslie's following you at this point. As you head round the corner and you like peer around, and what you see is some maybe 3 foot high figures in like dark cloaks, huddled up against the wall. You see like 2 of them and then a third one climbing on top of them. As you spot a 4th one just disappear over the lip and over the roof, onto the roof. Meanwhile, inside, the rest of you are all still asleep. And these ones like turn around and they see you and they're like, and they like sprint off and drop the one who was climbing up them, and he like splats into the mud.
Can I bonk him with my stuff?
Sure, good attack roll.
I go straight to bonk.
That wasn't a very good roll. It was 6.
Like rolls, springs up to his feet and starts running off with the other ones who've run round the corner.
I'm gonna chase after them and I'm gonna yell, Lesley, the little ones!
Leslie's gonna be like, oh my god, there's more Tabithas. Does Lesley see any of these little creatures?
You were behind, so you don't. I'll tell you what. Roll perception, just in case.
How loud did she shout, Lesley, Lesley?
Fairly loud. The rest of you can roll perception at
Aderyn, I
disadvantage.
don't think it's gonna be that quiet.
Leslie.
It's a 2. It's a 2 on the perception.
You see nothing, but you run
So
around to
quiet.
where Aderyn is
Being
yelling.
so quiet. Being so quiet.
16.
At disadvantage?
Yeah, I got a 19 plus stuff at the initial. So
Rest of you?
6.
6.
9.
Rolling, sorry.
Perception at disadvantage because you're asleep. Balrick, like something wakes you out of your dream, and then like your eyes flutter open, and there is a terrifying wooden doll right in front of your face.
I punch it.
The thing goes scattering off into the brickwork and like cracks. What you also make you aware of is just like, oh, this is good, and like some shapes in the like flickering firelight, just like ransacking, pulling out, like around where Togrim has fallen asleep, surrounded by scraps of pebble. They're like grabbing bits. You also see a couple of others over by Tauri, seemingly going through her bag and pulling out like a coin pouch. Like 3 foot high black cloaked things.
Before anything else, then, and hopefully to try and keep people asleep, I am going to full thaumaturgy shout, "Stop!" Like loud as possible with a thaumaturgy, and hopefully wake everyone else up as well.
Literally all of them suddenly draw daggers on you.
I'm gonna grab my sword next, because I'm sleeping next to my swords. I'm gonna draw my nice sword.
No one needs to get hurt.
Hey, and put it down, and then down is also thaumaturgied.
It's the dad boy.
It's the dab voice.
The
Okay.
dad voice.
Okay, look.
So I'd even do the thaumaturgy allows me the door can like shake.
Roll me intimidation. I'll give you advantage for thaumaturgy.
Does this
Can you
wake
just
us up?
straight up close the door with thaumaturgy? Is that one of the things?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe that's it. The door slams shut, and all the windows. Are the windows?
There are, but they don't. Yeah, they've got shutters on. So
I'm glad you gave me advantage because I have a -2 to intimidation. I'm not very intimidated apparently. But 18 take away 2 is 16. So
18. The rest of you are all like shaken up awake. Tauri, there's 2 of these things holding knives standing over the top of you. Togrim, like there's 3 of them around you. They're basically the same height as you, like holding bits of pebble and like eyeing the door. As the rest of you all kind of wake up, like, ah, okay. We're just looking.
put everything down, and you can leave. But everything must go down and return to its rightful place.
Be fair, we got in here without you noticing.
But I've
Right.
noticed now.
Can I help this intimidation just by slowly unfurling my arms from where I've been sat?
Trade. Give us food and something shiny, and we won't stab you.
I would like to reach into my coat and pull out a shiny, shiny hand axe. I'll give you something shiny, you little bastard.
I've got a feeling that the Mori's hand axes are not shiny.
There's a bit of shine.
Yeah, they glimmer with blood.
My new ones are.
The 2 of you outside are chasing after 3 of these things into the darkness, round, and they're essentially just running around the house.
It's very like Benny Hill.
Yeah.
Is Lesley just again going, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you?
As the rest of you inside, there's 5 of them inside with you currently, and like one of them seems like a little like stocky is the wrong word, but more confident than the rest, like, and like holding a slightly bigger weapon. Like, it's more of us.
They'll drop the good loot. You hit those first.
It's more of us.
Is the
This
thing
just.
metal?
Yeah, it looks it.
Can I will roll a stealth check for this, or sleight of hand, whichever one. Quietly try and cast heat metal on their weapon.
Yeah, they're going for it.
Heat metal that has verbal, somatic, and material components.
Reaches for the loot.
And also, subtle spell is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You,
I don't have it though.
you go to cast a spell, and one of the ones that's next to you just kind of like stabs a knife into your hand as you go to kind of do the somatic components. It doesn't actually hit to cause damage, but it like interrupts the spell. No magic. You cheating now. Okay? We just have a conversation. This is a negotiation now.
I'm getting up.
We
to my
leave
feet.
you alive. You give us things.
The negotiation
I will
is.
be honest.
No,
Currently, you are slightly outnumbered, and I can promise you, those two, and I point to the giant Goliath and the really, really angry man behind me, especially that one, he has a thing for making things red, or at least the colour of whatever creature's in his way's blood. Now, how about we give each of you a pack of rations, and you go on your way, and we don't see you again.
Two packs.
1 pack.
Each.
1 pack each.
And we take some shiny metal.
No shiny metal.
Shiny something.
Can Togrim is the one beside Togrim? Has he
I-
got a dagger in his hand, or
So the one that was actually with you is the one that's been doing most of the talking with this kind of like curved, or scimitar for lack of a better term. Like wielding it. Something shiny.
How
Or
about
this one gets it and like brings the scimitar over to the one that's the same size as them.
how about I will give each of you one of these, and in my hand I will have 5 silver pieces that I cast distort value on, which is verbal.
Okay. So here's the thing with magic, especially with us having a sorcerer in the party who can take subtle spell. I'm being much stricter with components with this campaign. So even verbal requires arcane words, in your case of creation, and speaking common wouldn't do that. I will actually also notice what languages do people in this room speak?
Common and Elvish.
I don't want to say all of them.
Common and Elvish, Dwarvish, Halfling.
Common, Giant, Orcish, Draconic, and a bonus one that I don't want to reveal.
Okay.
Ooh.
Draconic,
Definitely
Dwarvish,
common.
and-
And I think conversation.
Comish. And the gnome?
Draconic and Gnomish?
Okay, I will actually strike. Ximori is acting as a translator. Because they're speaking in Elvish.
Ah.
Actually, did anyone say Sylvan? Got a feeling someone said Sylvan.
Don't think
No?
I've got
Okay.
Sylvan.
No, they're speaking in Elvish. But there's an easy enough translation. Ximori, it's a little rusty. Your anger gets in the way of perfect translation, but it's working.
Particularly once they point like that scimitar at Togrim, there is like an audible inhale from Ximori, just like.
Are you attempting to cast Distort Value?
Well,
There'll be a skill check on this. Because it's only one, you're trying to essentially lace the word of power into your conversation. That's all.
And the idea is that they don't speak your language, so
Exactly.
you can.
So roll me Deception.
deception, yeah?
Because it's linguistically you're trying to hide it.
All right. Hot. Come on. That is a deception, which I've just learnt. 24.
24. I can't roll high enough on insight for that. So distort value does work. So distort value does what on what you're holding. What again? Sorry.
So, if you can correct it, basically just says cast this spell. It says on an object. So if you want to say
I'm willing to twist it on
basically there's a pile of 5 silver pieces, and there's basically enough silver pieces in my hand for there to be 1 per creature, and making them look so valuable to them that they couldn't say no.
Okay. You see, like, the one that's been talking the most kind of eyes light up and just kind of, like, turns back to Ximori. Rations in them. Nobody gets hurt.
Drop your sword.
Hand the coins. Hand the coins.
I flick 1 to each of them.
Like they've only got, like, one thing in hand, so they've got a free hand, and, like, but it does, like, drop the sword away from Togrim's throat as they focus on catching it. Rations? You promised food.
I'll if Ximori translates it, I'll point to the smoking rabbits that have been lined up.
They kind of like he like nods over at a couple of the other ones, and 2 of them walk over and just like grab the rabbits. You gonna let us leave? As they like start edging towards the door. Tauri, what's your passive perception, Tauri?
My passive perception is 13. Fix that.
Okay. The one that hadn't left next to you is also reaching for your coin purse that's next to your satchel as they're trying to back out.
Fuck off, or I'll let him come at you.
Have they dropped all of our things?
Door?
Have they dropped all of our things?
Yeah, they're not holding anything of your possession other than the conies and the coins.
I will just like. I don't know how I'll do it, but I'll slam open the door with thaumaturgy.
Okay. There's a sudden gust of wind that just comes through and just bursts it open. Leg it, lads! And these creatures run off into the night. Just as you 2 have been running around like 3 laps at this point, come round the corner chasing the other 3.
And then bash into the door.
These three extra ones hit the door as it swings out, which is like, get out! Run! They go sprinting off into the night as the 2 of you come back round, seeing the door having slammed open, and 5 more of these creatures go running out of the hut.
Did you see that? Lesley, there! Look! There! I told you!
Does Lesley not see it?
I mean, it is like pitch black, and Lesley is a human.
Is it particularly obvious that Balrick's done magic? I feel like it's quite subtle.
What, thaumaturgy?
I mean,
Yeah,
the door suddenly flew open.
Yeah, but that doesn't have to be. That's not. It's just. I think it's purely verbal, isn't it?
Anyone trained in Arcana or Nature, just due to the nature, the origin of your magic, can roll.
I'm not sure
check.
Balrick knows.
If you were in the room in that instance, I should say, because the other 2
I don't know either.
These
It's
are
purely
Bugs
verbal.
Bunny dynamics. There is no way that you see a door open when somebody shouts, and you're like, yeah, that's plausible.
I'm not sure
No way.
Balrick realizes though, because it was just anger, you know. He just shouted.
14 Arcana.
14 for Arcana. Anyone else?
I don't
I
know.
will
either.
roll.
Arcana.
If you
That's an
proficient.
I know Balrick has got magic anyway, but I was
Yeah,
real
like
bad
you
roll.
know, Balrick has some rudimentary kind of nature magic. He's,
Aragorn, yeah, Aragorn style.
able to make nature kind of enhance the qualities of nature, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, doors slamming shut, like wind pressure opens and
just-
shuts doors.
A windy door and a very shouty Balrick.
Yeah.
And I'm just, Goliath's giant king. They might just speak loud if they need to.
Exactly. Even to you, Tauri, it's just like, I mean, like, if you're steering into the belief that he is magical, it could be magical effects, but it could just no.
I'm not sure either way, basically.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, the two of you come running around seeing these 7 cloaked creatures run off into the darkness, where they do very quickly kind of disappear into the night. As you come back around, find everyone awake. Ximori, with a glint of murder in his eyes, their eyes, and everyone awake.
I'm proud of you, Ximori. Not lashing out then. That was very frustrating.
We could have
Best
taken
to-
them.
Right? Obviously, come on, look at them. They were tiny. Of course we could have taken them. But it's best to not make them, not have to deal with it.
I'm just gonna walk out to the door and just shout in Elven, I know you're sent. Don't come back here.
No.
Roll intimidation into the void.
We're never going to get harassed by whatever they were again.
That is an 18.
18. If they hear it, it's very intimidating. But with that, Ximori, you had enough of a rest that you can kind of take up the rest of the evening. You're welcome to do it by yourself or have someone sit with you as the 2 wine aunts. And I think it's wine uncle and wine niece.
I think we're happy with all of them.
Yeah.
The wine extended family.
Sleep down in their sleeping bags. Is there anything you wanted to do in the evening? Ximori?
I think we're gonna high five because we dealt with that really well as a team.
I had to sit down
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah, can we just have a quick moment of, oh, you two, what do you look out? What on earth were you doing?
I'm just staring off into the distance, muttering to myself.
We were chasing off the intruders. What were you doing?
The intruders that were in the building.
Just shouting. Shouting.
Also, you do see a shattered doll in the corner.
I don't see I'm looking up. I'll be annoyed at it in the morning, though, sure.
Does Lesley see the shattered doll?
Not with your passive perception.
We got do you have a single-digit passive perception.
Lesley was tasked with looking after Tabitha, so
You can take a look around. You do take a quick look around to find Tabitha, knowing where you put her. It's not where you put her. That you know.
Can I just clarify? Was it these creatures were like waving it in my face?
No, you missed it where Lesley put it in front of your face, so when you woke up, it was right in front of you.
Oh,
if he woke up, Lesley was planning to come back for it.
no, I guess Lesley was going to wake up first. Oh no, because Lesley was already awake. I assume we just quickly tidy our stuff in the away. I'm going to make sure everything's like super much more secure because I don't want them rummaging around in my stuff. Anyone?
Yeah, Lesley's also gonna like try and close. Like they climbed in through a window.
They climbed in through the hole in the roof where the smoke goes out.
Oh well, nothing you can do about that. Smoke hole needs to be there.
But if there's nothing else, Ximori, you can take the remainder of watch. Is there anything in particular you want to do, or just head through till morn?
Yeah, just sort of like settle myself like between Togrim and Tauri, because I figure that like if something does happen, Balrick can sort himself out. Lesley seems very protective of Aderyn, so Lesley will sort anything there.
Oh, she can look after herself.
Ultimate bodyguard.
But like I've seen already that like somebody tried to do magic and they didn't let that happen.
You kind of sit up until dawn, and you watch dawn break, and the morning itself is quite clear. The drizzle seems to have faded, and you can catch sight as you kind of like get up and stretch your legs for a little bit of the glorious southern mountains, the Antahina mountain range that you grew up in sight of your entire life, pretty much, kind of scraping the sky to the south. You spot like some sort of winged creature flying around in the high mountain tops. It's pleasant and rather beautiful to look at as you prepare for another day of travel, and more importantly, it is the first day of a new month as you continue your road onwards. The rest of you all kind of wake up No smoked rabbit for breakfast, unfortunately, but still the last scraps of deer and your own rations to get through as you tighten everything up and get ready for another day of travel. But I think one more day down is a decent place for us to close this chapter of our story, and we will reopen the book next time. But until then, see you later.